So, welcome and thanks a lot for coming today and investing your weekend in this workshop. A few points to clarify. In this workshop, I am not trying to convince you of anything. In this workshop, I am not trying to sell you anything, as in concept, not just products. In this workshop, I am not trying to brainwash you, but this workshop is a sincere attempt to question what we do and why we do what we do. The reason is, I feel over last 30 years of practicing yoga and 22 years of teaching yoga, that somewhere a time has come in our contemporary yoga understanding to question everything that we do. Question not out of doubt, but question out of wanting to check. You understand? There are two ways of questioning. One is questioning out of doubt, and one is questioning out of review. You know, like corporate reviews that happen. No? They're questioning, and then depending on that, the employee is given a raise or not given a raise. Same way, somewhere, I think our yoga industry is growing at such a fast rate, just taking everything in its scope, that a time has come where it feels like everything is okay in yoga. But is everything okay in yoga? Can just eating chocolate during your practice become chocolate yoga? Can doing asanas, I will not even call it yoga, you doing asanas on a swing be swing yoga? You never know. So I am not against any style. No, everybody has a right to do whatever they want. Like I usually say, everybody has a right to their confusion, but you have the right towards your clarity. My attempt today is to give you a view of traditional basis of yoga, A, Hatha yoga, B, and we will look at the traditional definitions of practices and terms that were traditionally used in the field of yoga. Means what? If any Italians here? No. If you go to Italy, or if you have dinner or lunch with any Italian person, for them coffee is espresso. If you add milk, they'll make a face. California maki. How does a Japanese feel when he looks at avocado being stuffed into a sushi? How does an Italian feel when the pizza becomes so thick with cheese stuffed in it? We adapt many things to modern times, but it will be nice to understand if we have diluted the scope of yoga. So our whole two days of workshops is about ruthlessly questioning what our current understanding is And if you are fine with your understanding, great, continue with your clarity. But if you feel a certain amount of, I would not say doubt, but curiosity, is it? My 5 years practice was like this. So, should I clarify my view? Maybe should I take out some aspects of my practice? Maybe should I change it completely? If we get confused in 2 days, that's a good sign. Because confusion many times makes us wake up. Confusion many times will motivate us. Sometimes life is just going on, then suddenly there is some event in your life and you're confused. And then there is this amazing motivation that drives you to look for clarity. Not just in what you do, but in also what you are. So this is the scope. This is a broad scope. I don't know how much new things I will teach you, because you go on YouTube, you will learn 10 new things in 1 hour. So I am not here to teach anything new, but I am here to question our answers. Are you okay with this journey? I don't know what will come out. I have made slides. I am very clear about what I am going to tell you. But we will find. We will try to reach. Maybe it's a little unsettling. Maybe it makes us angry. Maybe you stomp out. I am ready for it. But be honest in your questioning, because the time has really come. There's a new yoga style coming up every day. There's a new way of doing the same thing. So the question is, do we really need so many things? The modern consumerism, no? For 32 teeth, we have 50 brands of toothbrush. Imagine us. There are many yoga studio owners here, good friends of mine. The innocent new person just wakes up in the morning and says, I want to try yoga. And then they go into yoga studio and they see these. It's overwhelming, no? So I'm just making the base of our discussion. So our 2-day workshop is more discussion, practice and experience based, instead of learning something more. Give me more. Learning information is not at all a question in modern yoga world. You want information, go down right now. There are amazing people teaching you yoga. Amazing. One more qualified than the other. Christy Turlington, Giselle, everybody is teaching you yoga, which is fantastic. Information is not a problem. You see that? We are not lacking information. You to pay 20 euros, you get 100 videos. And you have every information you want. But I feel somewhere a time has come in our yoga evolutionary curve where we need to stop. Like we do with life, no? Like we do it with our life. Like, oh, I'm just going, 10 years, the same job, and then one day you're so down, you say, stop. Is this job really for me? That is the basic premise of our workshop. Is this okay for you? I can straight away turn it around and make it another. Like Tanya asked me, should she write down anything? I said, yes, there will be a lot of information. You will get a lot of information. Some contradicting many things that you have heard for many years of your life. So again, you will get information, you can use it, apply it, amazing. But again, Information is freely available. You sit in a park and you talk to somebody, do you practice yoga? They will give you information. Information is not the question in today's world. The question is how much is too much, and what we do, and why we do what we do. It's okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to review all our definitions. Because we speak so casually, including me, so casually. Casually means what? It's all consciousness. I'll make a lot of fun, It's including me, so I'm not standing on some top of the mountain and making fun of all of you. It includes me also, because I'm also part of this big. Okay? It's all consciousness. Be present. What's present? Don't know, it's just past. So it's all yoga, baby. You just beat up your boyfriend. It's all yoga. You get out your frustrations. No, I have seen articles. Yes. Hitting a pillow, hitting that classic psychotherapy exercise. Beating a pillow with a stick. I have seen included in yoga practices. Yes. I was a part of that course, unfortunately. So and that pillow was supposed to be my father or my mother, which was even worse. So anyway, but that questioning, we need it. It's like you go to buy a coffee, you go to get a coffee, and then it's decaf, it has soya milk, it has artificial sugar. So where is the coffee? The coffee is not really coffee, it's flavor. Milk is not really milk, it's something else. Sugar is not really sugar, it's something else. So why do we drink that coffee? Or like when I go to Hong Kong, they have these restaurants where you go and eat steak, red meat. But it's all soya. It's all soya. Once we went to a restaurant with my students, and we're like, everybody's digging. It looks like meat, it tastes like meat, but it is not meat. Have you been to such a restaurant ever? It's amazing. I was scared looking at what they are eating, and they are all my yogi students, no vegetarian, and nothing vegetarian there. Because even the soup is made in some kind of broth, And then my student has saying, it's all soya, eat it. So that's the avidya that is soya. It's all soya, but we like meat so much that we eat it without knowing that it's soya. So this questioning is very important in spirituality. Even Patanjali will say, till the last layer of samadhi, you question and then you detach. Questioning is an integral part of detachment. Unless you question, you will not be able to let go. You see that? Questioning is a part of letting go. Is it clear? Ready? I will talk for another 45 minutes, then we will make it worthwhile by doing some movement. Okay? Can you? So I don't know what slides I've made. Okay, fine. Clarifying and simplifying. The theme of our workshop is, don't read this, otherwise I will have nothing to speak about. I mean, read it, but look, why is there a need for this? I already spoke about it. Is the need clear? Do you recognize that there is a need of questioning? Or do you want to blindly accept everything? Then go ahead. Look, I have nothing if you want to blindly accept everything and go ahead. If you feel clear about it, fantastic, go ahead, do it. Do it, it's your life. Be clear about your confusion. But if even 1% you don't want, then this is required. Okay? The first question is, okay, let's start questioning. And when I ask you a question, you ask yourself, what is your definition of practice? Because in our yoga world, I'm assuming everybody is practicing yoga, okay? And it looks like everybody is. The practice, no? This word practice is so used and abused, dented and tented. This word, no? Practice. So I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, what is practice for you? And you speak up, it's not some speech of a president that nobody can speak. What is practice for you? Because I have many students, many people who come to me and say, I missed my practice yesterday, I didn't go on the mat. Is your practice limited only to mat? The idea in our workshop is to clarify your definitions to yourself. As far as you clear, if you say, no, for me practice means doing my asanas, that's it. Great. Great. Fantastic. That is the clarity that at least I am looking in my life. Then somebody like me will come, no, but the practice is the whole thing. You say, no, for me right now it's only being on my mat. Great. I will not say anything to you. But be sure what is practice for you. Because traditionally, the word for practice in Sanskrit is sadhana. And sadhana is understood as a complete set of techniques to reach a certain goal. But when it was translated to English, it became practice. So find out, what is practice for you? Because tomorrow you meet somebody, for them practice is 24/7. And I believe a yogi is a 24/7 yogi. If you are practicing yoga and you miss your asanas because you're traveling for 2 days, should you get frustrated? No reason. Because you have your pranayama, you have your meditation, you have your japa, you have your constant remembrance, you have so many other techniques that can be leveraged 24/7 in your day-to-day life, which are also included in the umbrella of practice. Think about it. What is practice for you? As a homework. No, it's important to define this. Because I have had so many people who get frustrated. I didn't do my practice for last 3 days. I always do this. I'm not a good enough yogi. How can I inspire others? I don't do my own practice. And for them, practice means on the mat only. Why limit your experience of yoga to this 10 square foot space? Rubber, that too. Right? When yoga is offering you whole 24/7, 365 days, hours of chance to cultivate a higher state of consciousness, why limit yourself to 1 hour a day on this rubberized polythene? Think about it and find your clarity, please. Going on the mat 1 hour a day doesn't give you the chance to be evil 23 hours a day. Is this clear? Next point. how do we clarify and simplify? How do we do it? So number one, by asking why I do what I do. And this is something that I really feel is essential for all us modern yogis. Why I do what I do? I went for a workshop and the teacher said that I should be so flexible that my head should come between my elbows, no, not this is my knees, and I should look at my Mula Bandha from behind. And I looked around and everybody was doing that. So I also want to do it. At exactly such times, ask yourself, why? And I'm not excluding me also. Whatever I'm saying, ask yourself why. Okay, Prasad said this. Why? Don't blindly accept everything that you hear, because today everybody is a scholar. Filter it. Filter. Okay? By consulting to the roots of practice. This is important. What is our base? How do we know what is real? Because there have been people who have gone through the same confusion that we are going through and reached a state of clarity where they did not have to prove anything to anybody by putting their head between their elbows or by standing on their head for 20 minutes. That state where you are so content with your practice, so content, so happy, so peaceful that there is no need. I'm saying need, this word is crucial. There is no need of wanting to go to 10 places and checking. Am I right? Am I right? Is this correct? Am I right? Possible? There is no need. And this happens in yoga. When you honestly and sincerely do yoga, yes, you will have a teacher, you will have a guru, but the sadhana itself teaches you. It's an inside-out process. You understand? You will go to somebody, is this correct? No. Take a small aspect, physical aspect. There are 10 ways, 10 people will teach you how to do a downward dog. Which one is correct? One teacher says keep foot like this, other says like this, other says like this. Then fourth comes and says this is biomechanically completely wrong. Then fifth one says, but you have not included the energetic aspect. The fifth one says, this is bad for your knees, wrists. How many you will listen to? With 1 million yoga teachers churned out every day from the yoga teacher trainings that happen around the world. Every next person is a yoga teacher. Have you realized that? So ask, question. The time has really come for this. Third, by assessing contemporary changes in our modern lifestyle. Now what this means? What this means is our body really capable of what Hatha Yoga scriptures mentioned 1,000 years ago? Our mind has not changed. That's why scriptures like Bhagavad Gita are still relevant. But body, has it changed? Tell me, has our body changed? Biomechanical. For us as urban, modern lifestyle people. No? Yes? Tell me. Yes. Absolutely. We don't. How many? Maybe all of you can sit here like this, but how many people, if you go right now and catch a random sample of 20 people, how many can sit comfortably like this? I mean, many of you are teachers. You tell your class to sit like this. They can't. And this is the basic. If God had a format, this was the basic format in He put the bio design of our body. We humans are made to sit like this. For million years we sat like this around fire.
Every child.
Every child can. But what happens when we become adult? And this has direct relation to ankle stability, knee stability, and glute and SI joint. But you go teach a free class in one of the gardens and first pose this. People will be like this and then falling. They have lost center of gravity. The center of gravity which is supposed to pass through your pubis is passing from there. Your center of gravity has become center of gravity of person in front of you. So what is relevant? What is not relevant? Or are we just going like sheep, Oh, headstand. Oh, headstand on the hand. Question. That will make you a yogi. Filter till you reach a state where you, your guru, your sadhana. That's it. Bye bye. You don't really need anything more. Really nothing. Don't be information gatherers, please. Fourth, fifth, by checking its relevance to modern times. This is exactly what I said before. And we will see when we do asana, we will see how our feet, you check. Next time you have a teacher class, you check people's feet. So half of them are flat-footed, half of them are arched, and 20% or 40%, 1 foot flat, 1 foot. Whole biomechanics is off for everybody. How can they all fit in one? A triangle should be like this. Impossible. It's like saying, the bread, when the bread goes into a toaster, every bread should be toasted exactly the same way. No. Can't. There is a joy, there is a sense of discovery in individualization of practice. So for you, this is all for you. Don't think of what will I teach in my class. No, this is for you. Last, by adapting and integrating the practices without going off track. What means off track? Means what is the basis? Why am I doing yoga? And that's in the next slide. Why am I doing the yoga? Please ask yourself this once every 2 days. Really ask yourself. Why? I'm trying to perfect my Mula Bandha. Then stop. Why? Because my end goal of yoga is to find my true self. Okay. But am I stuck in just perfecting my headstand? Oh. Don't lose the bigger picture. Don't lose the bigger picture. When you're cooking a dish, don't make it so complicated that you forget that you're eating because of hunger. Like, why are we supposed to eat? We are supposed to eat because we are hungry. But many people eat out of emotions. This is going off track. Eating out of emotion is just losing the whole point. Come back to the point. Come back to the root. Remind yourself, why am I doing all this? Why am I frustrated? Why am I sweating 2.5 hours in 43 degree temperature room? Will becoming dehydrated make me find my true self? Will dislocating my shoulder joint really make me deeply content in my heart? Question. And this was the classical, traditional way of teaching in the Gurukul system. When the student went to the teacher, the student had the right to question the teacher. So the respect for the teacher and the command of the Guru was all on one side, but then the student was also given the authority. Wherever required, you ask. The student had the right to ask the question, and the teacher had the right to give the answer in the way the teacher feels is the best. Means what? So you come to me and say, but there's one Upanishad also on this. You come to me and say, but I don't really feel asanas are important. You go to the Guru and say, I don't really feel asanas are important. So Guru will say, okay, don't do asana for 2 years. Because the point was not to give you information. No, my child, it is important. No. Experiential education it was, experiential education. So the Guru will say, don't do asana for 2 hours, or 2 years. And they'll say, okay, my Guru said don't do asana for 2 years, I will not. And then you don't. But then after 6 months, 1 year, you will see the decomposition of your body. You will feel, how it happens to us when we don't do asana for 2 days. Imagine 2 years. Then you go to the Guru after 1 year. I'm sorry, I feel asanas are important. Guru will say, bingo, now you see. So experiential wisdom. Or you will say, okay, I don't think meditation is important. So the Guru will say, okay, stop coming to the ashram from tomorrow, go and find a job. Find a job. Okay, Guru said, so you have to do. So you go and find a job. And then you try to live life, and you realize that without meditation, your day-to-day life is harder and harder and harder. Then you are frustrated, you quit the job, you come back to Guru. Guru, you were right. So the student has the right to ask questions, and the teacher has the right to give the answers the way they feel is right, which is mainly experiential. And this is why I have also quoted, because this is not all rubbish coming out of my head. I have given, this is how traditionally we perpetuate our point. This is a line from Hatha Pradipika. Hatha Pradipika is a very, very important Hatha Yoga scripture. So what is Swatmaram? There's the name of the guy who wrote it. What is Swatmaram saying? Swatmaram shares his view of Hatha Yoga to give us refuge to those afflicted from suffering, number 1, reason to practice, and number 2, exactly perhaps what we are going through now, the multiplicity of opinions in yoga, maybe it was the same case in 15th century when this scripture was written, because for those who are confused by multiplicity of views about spiritual practices. Same. And he wrote the scripture, Hatha Pradipika, to give clarity to people. Who else did the same thing? Remember Patanjali? I am assuming a certain amount of background knowledge. Remember Patanjali? What Patanjali did? Compiled everything, no? You must have read. What did Krishna do in Bhagavad Gita? Again, compiled. All these people who have written scriptures, who have dictated scriptures, will compile, and make it easy for the end user. And that time has come. Thank you. So, I am starting from the basis, starting from the scratch. Even though I am assuming certain amount of information in your heads, I want to make it clear. I want to start from basis. What is yoga? Otherwise, drinking wine and then, like those pictures that go on Facebook. Irish yoga. Have you seen that? That should not happen, please. Okay? So, beer bottle and he is in Chakrasana. Okay? So, what is yoga? Philosophically, this is très important. Science of self-transformation with an end goal of realizing the true self within. Yoga is understood as a journey and an end both. That's it. If your yoga is promising you something else, a seat in heaven next to God, no, change. Change your yoga. Because no, at least in my reading, no scripture promises you right side of God. No. Clear? Philosophically. Philosophically means what? What's the main subject matter? It is a science of self-transformation with an end goal. It is not abrupt. Oh, science of self-transformation. Oh, let's keep transforming wherever we go. No. It has an end goal of realizing the true self within. What is the true self? We don't know. With hypotheses as of now. People have reached it. People have reached it. But at our state, it's like saying, it's like asking Bill Gates, how does it feel to have $57 billion? If somebody asks you, how does it feel to have $57 billion? You say, I don't know, I don't have $57 billion. So we would not know unless you ask Bill Gates, he will tell you because he has. Okay? So true self, undefined as yet, but we have to trust the hypotheses. Second, geographically, yoga is a science of self-transformation that originated in South Asian region with its varied views, philosophies and methodologies. I want to clarify this. Why? Because tomorrow you'll see kangaroo, say kangaroo position and Australian yoga. No, we have to give it validity. Right? The spiritual practices that came out of Japan, Zen. Spiritual practices that came out of China, Taoism. Every region has their spiritual practices. Everything doesn't have to become yoga. They are spiritual practices. Please understand. Please try to get. I'm not trying to make it constrained. But what is? Have you eaten palak paneer? Yes, you know palak paneer. It's an Indian dish. It has two things basically. Paneer means sort of a cottage cheese, and palak. Palak means spinach. So maybe in Hawaii they have a dish which uses paneer, cottage cheese and spinach. Just because it has cottage cheese and spinach, is it palak paneer? No. It's not. It's really not. You cannot go, if somebody gives you spinach upon that nice, this Greek cheese, feta cheese, as a salad, will it become palak paneer? It's not palak paneer. It has palak, it has paneer, but it is not palak paneer. And that's why I am geographically also limiting the scope of yoga. Historically, yoga has been fluid. Means what? Yoga has adapted and changed its orientation to become accessible to the end user. And why I am saying this? Because many people who do PhDs in yoga, they are always confused. Is it 2000? Just yesterday I was reading an article. Yoga, is it 2000-year-old practice or 5000-year-old practice? And there was a big debate and people were, everybody has an opinion, no? So everybody writes. So, Historically, yoga has been fluid. Yoga has adapted and changed its orientation to become accessible to the end user. This happens. How does it happen? You don't just get out of the bed and say, I want to create a new style of yoga and do it. No. Traditionally, it happens only through self-realization. Any Tom, Dick and Harry just can't get up and create a new yoga scripture like this. Okay? It is authority. Like a scientist who has PhD. You see PhD next to him and say, okay, I can trust him. Like you go to a doctor and some random qualification from Djibouti. You will not go. You say, oh, Harvard Medical School? Nice. My life is in your hands. So there is some amount of scholarship or experience that goes in creating a scripture. But the basic premise of yoga is never compromised. That means what? It is adapted, but it is never diluted. Big difference. You understand? Dilution means it's like tea. If you have tea and then you say, oh, add some more water, add some more water, add some more water, add some more, and the tea is gone. All is left in your cup is water. No. So, adaptation doesn't mean dilution. Means what? Means however you want to adapt yoga, the basic premise, what is the basic premise? Science of self-transformation should not be compromised. So even today, you are struggling with your downward dog, which is fine. Somewhere in your back of your head, know why you are doing it. The downward dog should not become the end of your yoga. You should know the reason I am doing this downward dog is because somewhere my correct downward dog is going to improve my biomechanics, which will make me meditate, which will make me realize. So much. That's why we have to come again and again, no? Lifetimes. Is this much clear? Whatever you take out of it, you take out of it. Any questions till here? I will speak for another 10-15 minutes, then we'll do asana, some different asanas. Any questions till here? Okay, thank you. Contemporary yoga. Nice. Again, please don't misunderstand me. I am not criticizing modern yoga. I am very much a part of modern yoga. Okay, so the idea here is not to criticize. Okay, so development over last 50 odd years. Yoga viewed mainly as practice of postures, flexibility training. So please, let's focus on this now. What is a modern understanding of yoga? Not for us, not for us who are ready to invest Saturday morning in a workshop. Their understanding of yoga is very different. But a general public. Just yesterday I was coming by taxi, so I told him I'm a yoga teacher. You were like, oh, inner ruha. Immediately say, inner ruha. Some Polish guy was driving taxi. So, inner ruha. I said, yes, correct. Thank you. He didn't say flexibility. So, yeah, he has a better understanding of yoga. Like, sport. No. Okay. So, what's the general understanding of yoga? Postures. How do you know the trend? You type yoga on Google and see what images come. Nobody will be on their feet. Everybody will be in some other part of their body. Flexibility. I don't know how this comes. Flexibility training. Because no scripture, really, no Hatha Yoga scripture talks about asana as flexibility training. Not even one. 2 scriptures mention it as strength training. So going to the gym and lifting weights is more asana than stretching. But anyway, that's about different. So, This new trend of types versus styles. This is important. This is important. Type of yoga and style of yoga. Style is a very new term. Karma yoga is not a style of yoga. Bhakti yoga is not a style of yoga. Actually, it is a style, no? Somebody's come out with this. Bhakti yoga now. What's his name? I met him 4 years ago. Some guy. It's hot yoga with Krishna Kirtans on the back. Anyway. Well, anything is yoga. So what is the clarification here? Type of yoga means orientation of yoga as a whole. Means what? Bhakti yoga is a type of yoga. Means what? You practice bhakti, self-realization is assured. You practice your devotion, that devotion itself will take you to realization. No need to do anything else. Dhyana yoga, means go to Bhagavad Gita for it. Dhyana, yoga of meditation. No need to do anything else. You go to Bhakti Yogi and say, hey, I can do headstand. So he is not interested. It's not in the scope of his techniques. No. Traditional Bhakti Yogis will never do any asanas because they're so involved in their chanting and japa and dancing and meditation. They don't require this aspect of yoga. Please understand this. And we as asana based yogis, we have no right to say, but why? It's like, asking Japanese people, why don't you use, Indian goes to Japan and say, well, why don't you use spices? No, it's different. Japan, they don't use as much spices. India, everything is spices. It's a different way. Let them. They have realized their stuff too. Is this clear? Type and style. Now, what is style of yoga? What modern yoga has come to understand as style of yoga is nothing but a way of doing asana. Bikram yoga is a style of yoga because you go to that oven and bake yourself for whatever amount of time. In different, you bake yourself nicely in different, evenly, right? Or some other style of yoga. Look, I just crack jokes. I'm not pushing it down. I practiced Bikram yoga myself, 2 classes in my whole life. Okay, that too in one day. Okay. So style of yoga is orientation of doing asana. Is this clear? Style and type. It's okay. Then Hatha yoga is a type of yoga and not a style of yoga. Oh, sorry, this is not on the slide. Just the other day, I read I went to one studio to teach and here it is. I read one advertisement. Like your practice, this mat is the best of both worlds and moves from hot to hatha. I took a picture, see? So, this is huge confusion. Right? Like your practice, this mat is the best of both worlds and moves from hot to hatha. It's classic confusion, the classic commercial confusion. So why? Because look at this point. Modern posture practice comes from the orientation of hatha. So you may be Ashtanga, Vinyasa flow or Bikram or whoever. If you are doing a triangle pose, the root is in Hatha yoga. Has to be. It is. It is. Okay? You may not like it or your lineage may not accept it, but it is. If the yoga you do includes mobility asana, then yes, your base is in Hatha. Which your origin, father, Adam. Okay? Because like I said, other yogas don't use asana. Bhakti yoga doesn't use asana. You read chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita, does he mention asana? No. Doesn't use asana. Karma yoga doesn't need asana. If the asana is there as an aspect of your training in yoga, it is based in Hatha. Your teacher training might call it anything, but it is based in Hatha. What is Hatha yoga? Hatha yoga is an orientation of self-transformation and not a particular way of doing asana or posture practice. It's big. You practice Hatha yoga, it will take you to self-realization. The reason I am saying this is because I've heard many people say, oh, I practice asanas from Hatha yoga and I do Buddhist meditations for meditation and I do mindfulness breathing from Taoism. Soup. Hatha yoga is a path which can take you to samadhi. You read the scripture, Hatha Pradipika or Geran Samhita, it is there till the samadhi state. It will take you all the way if you have the resilience to follow it through. But then the question is, have we got too caught up in doing asana and ignored the holistic transformation? This is a question for all of us to ask. Have we, modern yogis, got too caught up in doing asana and ignored holistic transformation? Means, if we say asanas will help me meditate, then why don't we meditate? Isn't it? Asanas. We say no, asana helps create stable body so that the yogi can meditate in the future. Why hasn't our future come? Why are we still on the mat?
Because your whole life is the practice.
Yeah, then meditation should also be included. If 1 hour you are stretching on asana, 15 minutes sitting quietly is possible. Don't let your asana practice become an escape for you to avoid inner transformation. I'm saying it again, it's a strong sentence. Don't let your asana practice, don't let your preoccupation with stretching and flexibility and 43 degrees and 22 postures, 27, become an escape for you, become a chance for you to ignore the whole avenue of mental transformation, which is another. If you think asana is difficult, the emotional transformation is another layer. Okay? So, like nowadays they say, have you heard this? Sitting is the new smoking. So the new statistics is for every 1 hour of sitting, you should walk around for 15 minutes. So I say for every 1 hour of asana, 15 minutes meditation. Yeah. Why not? Don't wait for your body to be stable so I can sit for 3 hours. It will not happen. That will happen only when you are in ICU at age of 90 with intravenous dipping. Push, no? Try. It's another world out there to discover, another, and 1,000 times deeper and bigger and more spectacular. Okay? What is next? Okay, quickly, what is Hatha Yoga? Because then, oh, Hatha Yoga is which Hatha Yoga? Okay, so quick. What is Hatha Yoga? Orientation of yoga, not asana. And when I say yoga, what do I mean? Please feel free to take pictures. Huh? I have no copyright on this. I will never have. Okay. When I say yoga, what do I mean? Get this clear. Please. Whenever I say yoga, it means complete till the self-realization. Okay? So, orientation of yoga, not asana, which takes into consideration the gross physical mechanics and subtle energetic movements. Okay? Not just the muscle, but also the energy movement behind it. A refined outshoot of wider orientation of Tantra. It comes from the field of Tantra. Came to forefront around 8th to 10th century AD. Okay, so don't let people call it 7,000-year-old practice. No, please. Initiated by Matsyendranath, propagated by Gorakhnath. Okay, these are the main guys who compiled it for us. Huh? Unfortunately, not many people know about them. Refined, reformed, and made the general truths like bhakti and humility available to wider audience. What does this mean? Now, Hatha Yoga practices were primarily esoteric practices. Please pay attention. Hatha Yoga practices were primarily esoteric practices, which were only given out to monks who were initiated. But a time came in the 8th to 10th century where this knowledge was made accessible to the larger masses as well. But they could not be given the esoteric practices, no? Because they are complicated. They need a certain amount of discipline and isolation. So, Hatha Yoga message was spread out in 2 layers. Number 1, basic layer for general consumption, that was bhakti, humility. So if you read Hatha Yoga scriptures, and we will tomorrow, I have made some points from the scriptures in there. We'll sing it. Okay. Basic tenets like humility, how to be humble, how to surrender, how to have faith, how to be simple, how to be patient. These were given to general audience, and specific methods like Kaya Sadhana means what? Maintaining the body, which we do through asana. And Rasayana Shastra means, what is that called? Alchemy, available to limited amount of monks. So we fall in this and this little bit. Now Hatha, the origin of the word. It's not Hatha as it is called in America. Okay? It is Hatha. It's actually like hut, H-U-T, but with a H. Okay, so not half a yoga. Okay, so say it properly. So let's say it 3 times. Hatha Yoga. Hut, like H-U-T. Hut Yoga. That's also fine. That last A you don't have to. Hut Yoga. Hatha Yoga. Yeah, Hut Yoga. Because nowadays Hatha Yoga and hot, I have seen style of yoga, hot yoga. H-O-T dash A dash yoga. So Hatha Yoga, hut. And hut means what? Even today in India, in many languages, they will use this word. You know, when a child throws a tantrum, like, I want a chocolate. So it is said the child is doing hut. So it doesn't mean yoga of tantrum. Okay? Hut means what? Insistence. The term hatha literally means adamant, strong-minded. When the child wants the chocolate and stomps his foot and cries and makes a scene, that desperation, that dedication, that want is the orientation of Hatha Yoga. That means what? The Hatha Yogi is absolutely focused. Please understand this. This is something for us modern yogis to remember. A Hatha Yogi, and you are practicing asana, so you are all Hatha Yogis now. Sorry, no choice. Absolutely focused, like a child. Next time you see a child, or if you have a child who is throwing tantrums, like, that's my Hatha Yogi. Throwing tantrums, Mom, I want this. That, you see that dedication. I want nothing else right now other than that chocolate. That's it. And then you cry, you make a scene, you stomp your leg, you stomp out of the door, whatever, till you get that chocolate. So Hatha Yogi is in the same state of orientation. I want to know the truth, no matter what. And I am ready to do anything for it. This is one. That's why the definition in the scripture is Hathena Balatkarena Yoga Siddhi. This is a classic definition of yoga. Hatha Yoga means what? Empowerment of yoga through strength and being determined. Now the general Hatha Yoga definition we have seen is what? Hatha Yoga is also Ha and Tha, right? You must have read it. Hatha Yoga comes from two words, Ha and Tha. Ha means sun and Tha means moon. It's okay, it is symbolic. Ha and Tha, sun and moon is symbolic. You know what that really means? Forget the sun and moon and all that. It means the final state of union of opposites. Ha, Tha. Ha means sun, Tha means moon. Means the state in which your duality ends. When the sun and moon together can be together in one place. Hatha, your duality ends. And as you can see, our world is really a world of duality. It is duality. Isn't it? For every happy, there is a sad. For every good, there is a bad. But our problem is, we want only happy. We don't want the sad. We want only the good. We don't want the bad. So how can we be happy? Because the nature of the world is dual and we are looking at one. Can't. There's a basic fundamental issue with the way we look at the world. The world is impermanent and we are wanting permanence from it. The world is a fish. We want it to climb like a monkey. Can a fish climb like a monkey? Not yet, not on earth. You may be from some Palladian, no? What to say? Palladian system or whatever. A fish will not climb a tree. You are dealing with fish. Accept that. If you are expecting a fish to climb a tree, it's your problem. Don't blame the fish. This is the basis of yoga. The world is temporary, but we expect it to be permanent. The world can never be permanent. The only permanence is the self. So move out of the world and go within. This is yoga. Last and very important. Hatha scriptures gives techniques for gradual refinement. They are compilations. You go to a store, you buy Hatha Pradipika. It will give you Hatha Pradipika. It will give you around 12-15 asanas, around 8 different pranayams, around 4-5 different meditation techniques. Then you sit and say, I will practice all pranayams. No. They are graded. Nobody tells us this. It's a manual. It's a compilation. Compilation doesn't mean you have to do everything. In a CD, you have a CD. I mean, we all had a CD once. Uh, there are 12 songs. Can you hear all the songs at the same time? No. Same way, scriptures give techniques in a graded manner. And you need a guru to show you how that gradation has to be done. But what happens? We buy a book and then we say, I will, today which practice? Today I will practice this. No. Okay. There are 8 pranayams. You don't have to practice all 8. Don't have to. Don't have to. No need. But if I say this, then many of us will feel, but my neighbor practices 18. I don't know how she got those 10 extra. No. It is one breath. Why you need 100 techniques for one simple breath? So we'll look at that in pranayam as well. Okay? So I'm finished talking, so we'll do asanas. But before that, any questions, anything to discuss, anything to ask? 5 minutes. Any clarification? Confusion? Good. Confusion is good. Then you'll go out and frustrated and search, find a teacher. Find a teacher, but please. Yoga is not DIY. You know what is DIY? Do it yourself. No. You know, it's like this. You have home remedies. Sometimes your toothache, you put clove oil. You feel good. But when there is root canal, you have to go to the dentist. Same way, in spirituality, there are lots of things we can do at home. But a time comes when you have to go to somebody who knows. Knows means what? Not theoretically, experientially. Who has walked on the same path that he or she will make you walk. There's a beautiful line in Bhagavad Gita which says that you have to surrender, you have to go to a guru and surrender everything to the guru, and then the guru guides you. So guru is like a doctor. You can have 100 home remedies. Your grandmother might be smartest in home remedies. But a doctor is a doctor. A surgeon is a surgeon. Your grandmother will not cut open and remove your tumor. You need doctor for that. This is the basis of yoga. So if you don't have a teacher, find a teacher. And when I will use 2 words, teacher and a guru. In my speech, I will always use 2 words. Sometimes teacher, sometimes guru. When I say guru, I mean a teacher that you can trust totally. Totally. If you find a teacher like this, that's it. Don't look anywhere else. Don't look anywhere else. Then just, that's it. Then everything is inside. Then the teacher will send you to other teacher, that is different. Then don't look only. Okay? So we'll take a 5-minute break, use toilet and everything, and come back, we'll do asanas.